I'd like to call the City of Apache Junction Council meeting to order. The invocation will be led by Vice Mayor Rizzi and the pledge by Council Member Kelly Gremmel.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the privilege of being gathered here today to do the city's business on behalf of our constituents. We ask that each of us be guided by you in the decisions that we make that will affect others and not by any personal agenda or ego. We ask to be humble in our disagreements and that we never forget we are here to serve the people of this beautiful community. Father, we ask for your protection for all of our first responders, those serving in our military, and all of their family members. We ask that they be brought home safely each and every day. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Wilson,
Here?
Vice Mayor Rizzi,
Present.
Councilmember Biggs,
Present.
Councilmember Evans,
Here.
Councilmember Gremmel,
Here.
Councilmember Nesser,
Present.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Here.
You have a quorum, Your Honor.
Thank you. As a reminder, all items under the consent agenda will be approved with one motion. If a council member wishes to remove an item for further discussion, the request will be made prior to approving the consent agenda and will be moved to new business. Do I have a motion for the consent agenda?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I move that the consent agenda be accepted as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call.
Councilmember Schroeder,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Rizzi,
Yes.
Councilmember Nesser,
Yes.
Councilmember Evans,
Yes.
Councilmember Biggs,
Yes.
Councilmember Gremmel,
Yes.
Mayor Wilson.
Yes.
Motion passes, Your Honor.
All right, awards and presentation and proclamations. Recognition by the mayor and the City of Apache Junction City Council and individuals and organizations. Starting off is the presentation of a 25-year service award to Officer Ken Fowler. Chief Kelly, do the honors.
Mayor, City Council, Chief Tom Kelly, Apache Junction Police Department. Ken thinks he's going to hide out in the back, but come on down. If I got to stand here, so do you. This is actually one of the honors that I enjoy doing when we have employees from the police department or the city that serve the city continuously for such a length of time. And Kent's one of these individuals that's not only served the city, but this community outstanding well. But I have to ask you, how many family members are out there? You want to raise your hand?
Half the audience? Yeah.
Because as you know, he usually stands in the back, and we usually don't have this big of a crowd. So either they're family members or he's paying people to come in. But a little background about Ken. He's and correct me if I'm wrong, because I went through your files.
Uh-oh.
And he started at Coolidge PD in 1995?
Yes.
Okay, so far I'm hitting a home run. You are. Okay, and then in September of 1996, he got hired by Apache Junction. And at that time was making about as much as you make at McDonald's today. In 2000, he was then promoted or reassigned to the investigation division and became a detective. And he did that for about 4 years, and when he was reassigned back to patrol. And during this time, he was collateral duties of a SWAT operator and did that with a lot of vigor and energy, from what I understand. 2007, when I came in, but about 9 months after I came in, he came back to detectives, and when I was the commander back in CID. And then I pulled some papers out on some of his discipline. Actually, there wasn't. Actually, He has a stellar record. He's served, and I'll continue on in a couple minutes, but he's served this community and this department very well. He's been letters of appreciation, letters of commendation. In the year of 1997 alone, which is a year after he came here, he received 5 letters of appreciation from a variety of citizens, from different police departments. In 1998, he received 4 more commendations and letters of recognitions from both citizens and from various other cities for his work and assistance outside of our community, as well as here. And then 1999, he continues on. 1999, he got more recognitions and appreciation. 2001, you must have screwed up in 2000 because you got nothing in 2000. 2001, several citizen notations of his assistance. In 2002, he gets a series of more commendations and thank yous from citizens. 2003, 4 more. There's a total of 23 letters of either commendation or appreciation. He actually is the only one I've seen so far that actually got a SOAR recognition back in the old days.
Yeah.
I don't see you did much for me from 2007 because I don't see any recognition of anything except we reassigned you to the DEA task force.
Wow.
He also actually had been reassigned to the Pinal County Task Force, and that wasn't exciting enough for him, so we assigned him to the DEA Task Force. So you were there for, what, 4 years? Thereabouts. And he got letters from the SAC from DEA at that time, Doug Coleman, no relationship to our former mayor, and the U.S. Attorney's Office, and from the office there in Phoenix itself. But he goes on to continue unit citation in 2012, Chief's letter of appreciation in 2012, more letters of appreciation. Got a letter from former Sheriff Babu, U.S. Attorney McCormick, and it just goes on and on and on. So he's done some good things. The scary thing about Kent was that when he came back from DEA, which was in 2018, he actually served almost 6 years at DEA, if I'm not mistaken, right? 7. And then he came back to be a really scary person and decided to work as a court officer. Something wrong there, Ken. I don't know how you go through all that and then come back and... It's the staff.
You know what?
Good answer. But anyway, so he served the city extremely well. His current commander is here in the audience today. And I don't know if you want to say anything, you just want to stand there and look pretty, but Kent has served the city extremely well. He's in the drop program, which means he's got a couple more years that we can abuse him as much as we can. And I had told him that we're going to do that as much as we can. Your mom's out here someplace, right? Yeah.
Wow.
Right. She is responsible for this.
Proud mama.
And with that, I'm going to let the city manager jump in here and say his words, and then I expect you to introduce your family and say something nice about them. Okay. Please do. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chief.
Just want to say congratulations to Kent. I mean, having done this myself for a long period of time, 37 years.
Wow. Wow.
So it's great to see that you get to this milestone. But then when I asked, what does he do at the court? And he says, well, he's the grill master. So I'm like, okay. Well, I guess they're well fed, right?
He barbecues
So
on the
congratulations,
back
Ken.
porch.
He also substitutes as a dog catcher, too.
That's right.
Ooh.
Your Honor, what an honor it is. These nights are super special. And to be able to have his family here with us, his mother, what an honor and joy it is to meet them. So many staff members from the court, as well as the police department. TJ Watkins, who's worked with him this entire time, just came in. More than 25 years, yeah? Some of his friends from a long time. What I'll just highlight is that you are witnessing 25 years. That's an incredible, incredible story. What I'll bring up is that he's trusted. You notice that he's been assigned, as he's gone throughout his career, areas of great trust. I'm grateful that he's continues to serve like he's been sworn to do, to protect and to serve our community. And he's done it in many ways, in multiple ways, and I'm super grateful he continues at the court. It's a huge relief to have that presence there with great, tremendous skill set. So without any further ado, Kent, I'm going to share with you a few things that we want to give you. And it's just a token. There's so much more I wish we could do. First is a check for $600 as part of our service award program. In addition, as part of this 25 years of service, Kent, you receive 40 hours of paid time off, which is well-deserved as well. A certificate of his service. And then, Kent, we'll take a picture here, and we'll have the mayor come down here in a minute with deep appreciation and thanks for 25 years of service to the city of Apache Junction. I thank you.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome. I got nowhere to go.
Officer Watkins has been around since my kids were growing up. They knew him.
Uh-oh.
Now we know where he gets it.
Yeah, I sure do. I don't know if I'll be writing a bunch of things down today, but
How are you? Wonderful.
They're all leaving.
Oh,
They're leaving before he says something.
Spell it out to the mayor.
He's going to make excuses now.
Your Honor,
Robert, he's,
Mr. Mayor, I think,
Your Honor, Vice Mayor Rizzi, council members, city staff, citizens of Apache Junction. I guess when they say 25 years is a life sentence, it's kind of true. But I'm very grateful. To have had the opportunity to serve. It's a high calling. Sorry.
don't be sorry.
And I'm grateful to my family for my, a good upbringing. And so I think I'll leave it at that. I'm choking up. I don't know why. I haven't choked up in years, but again, I'm very, very grateful. It's an honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Krista, you said
It-
you wanted to say something?
Your Honor, I just have one comment. This kind of goes to Chief and to Bryant. Every time we have somebody that comes forward with a 25 or a 30-year award, I always wonder what's in the water here in the city of Apache Junction, because these people look like high schoolers. This is amazing how young these folks look. So thank you for your service.
Okay, I have some, two proclamations here. First one, Small Business Saturday. The city of Apache Junction celebrates our local small businesses and contributions they make to our local economy and community. According to the United States Small Business Administration, there are 31 million small businesses in the United States that are responsible for 65% of net new jobs created from 2000 to 2019. And whereas small businesses employ 47% of employees in the private sector in the United States, 88% of the U.S. consumers feel a personal commitment to small businesses in the wake of the pandemic, and 92% of small businesses owners have changed the way they do business to stay open during the pandemic. And whereas 97% of small business Saturday shoppers recognize the impact they can make by shopping small, 85% of them also encourage friend and family to shop local small businesses. And whereas advocacy groups as well as the public and private organizations across the country have endorsed Saturday after Thanksgiving, a small business Saturday. Now, therefore, I, Chip Wilson, do by proclaim November 27th, 2021 as Small Business Saturday. And
Your Honor?
yes,
If I may, Janine Sully is not here this evening to introduce Steve Byfield or Mary Ann Przybylski, but I believe they are here this evening.
yes.
Pizza, pizza.
It's an unhealthy addiction.
She didn't hear me. I said pizza, pizza. I love that shirt. I'm sorry. Almost ran over our clerk.
Audrey, where'd you get that shirt?
Yeah, it's neat.
I'm Mary Ann Przybylski. I'm the President and CEO of the Apache Junction Area Chamber. And on behalf of the small business community, we would like to thank you for this recognition. In fact, according to Fundora, for every $1 spent at a small business, 67 cents stays in the local community. 44 cents of that goes to the business owner and to employees' wages and benefits. 23 cents gets reinvested into other local businesses. Therefore, that $1 spent creates an additional 50 cents of local economic impact here in the community. That means that a local business that is thriving and growing is much more likely to hire more employees, support a local sports team, sponsor an event, give to a local nonprofit or charity, expand into a new product or service line, pay additional taxes that help fund local needs like police, fire, infrastructure, and so much more. Small businesses need our support throughout the holiday season and beyond. So please, I encourage everybody, shop small, shop local all year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
And my next one is National Alzheimer's Awareness Month. Whereas the City of Apache Junction recognized the importance of Alzheimer's and related dementia care, and whereas Alzheimer's and related dementias have a significant impact on the health and well-being of our residents, and whereas more than 150,000 Arizonas live with Alzheimer's, which is the 5th leading cause of death in the state, and whereas Arizonans are actively engaged in educating about the disease, advocating for proper containment of care, improvement and training of the care of patients with Alzheimer's disease and related dementias, and whereas the City of Apache Junction supports those with Alzheimer's addressing this public health crisis. Now, therefore, I, Chip Wilson, Mayor of the City of Apache Junction, Arizona, do hereby proclaim the month of November 2021 to be Alzheimer's and Caregivers Month in this community, and encourage all our residents to learn about Alzheimer's and related dementias and patient care. National Alzheimer's Awareness Month. And Carrie?
One more.
We're far enough. You wouldn't be seeing that much anyway.
Yep.
Mayor, thank you so much. Alzheimer's in Arizona is rising at a disturbing rate, and we need to protect our community, and we need to protect our neighbors and reach out to them, because so many people don't have friends or family that are there for them, and so we need to reach out and just make sure that they're protected. And so I encourage everybody in the community to make sure that your neighbors and friends are protected, and reach out to them. If you see someone with cognitive decline, reach out and make sure they're taken care of. Please and thank you. We just need to make sure that we're all taken care of, because our friends and family, it's such a horrible disease. And so thank you so much, and I appreciate your taking care of us today. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, regional intergovernment meeting updates from the council. Right.
Yes, Your Honor. I just want to go ahead and introduce council, for those who have not gotten a chance, and then members of the public, to our one of our local Cub Scout troops here from PAC 380. So they are here tonight. They reached out to work on one of their civics badges, and one of the priorities there is to talk to elected representatives on a local level, and then of course attend a city council meeting. So from aisle to wall, we have Ethan, Nico, Preston, Soren, and Connor, who are all 5th graders local to the Apache Junction East Mesa area. So welcome, guys, and thank you for attending our meeting.
Yes.
I was given this announcement late today. I don't know if anybody's noticed, there's been a lot of dirt moving in the median again. Well, this Saturday, the Community Development Corporation, with as many volunteers as want to show up, we're going to be planting the plants. The idea is to meet at Ace Hardware at 8 o'clock. Wear your Make a Difference t-shirt if you have one. If you don't, we'll get you one. And if you haven't volunteered with this group before, please, anyone's welcome. It's going to be this Saturday and on the 18th, I believe. So if you can, show up and help us plant some plants and make the city prettier than it already is.
Robert?
No update.
Kelly? Tess? Krista?
Do you want me to share our field trip, or is that part of the city manager? Do you want me to share that?
Okay.
Okay. So with, Mayor and I attended with some city staff and our city manager, a really interesting field trip this past week to Tempe to address, see how they are addressing homelessness. I won't take a lot of time. It's an issue that's near and dear to my heart, to see what can we do in Apache Junction with the resources that we have. It was very, very informative. And so we learned a lot. They're doing some really great things. They have, obviously, the city of Tempe has a lot more funds than we do. They've been around, longer than Apache Junction, but it certainly gives us some ideas of where to start and what we can do. And so one of the things that they had done and taken us on a field trip was they purchased an older hotel that was, it was getting run down and just attracting some bad activity. And they're able to give people a 90-day stay and help them get on their feet and help them get jobs and help them find and secure housing. So it's pretty awesome. There's a lot of different things that are innovative and creative in communities outside of building very expensive shelters. We just have to get creative. So it was really interesting, and I really appreciated that staff took the time to set that up. It was an all-afternoon thing, and so we really are grateful to the mayor and staff of Tempe as well.
Okay, well, my wife and I decided to attend this activity at the Superior this past weekend, which they were having a mining festival. And one of the things that they have done, previous miners had done many years ago was using the mule. And they have a mule race. And it was very interesting. If you notice, this one's all loaded up with a pack and everything, and people went out on the 3 different types of runs. There's a 3-mile run, there's a 6-mile run, and a 12-mile run. And it was interesting to, if you notice the yellow line and the finish line, some of the mules decided that they could not cross that line, and their time doesn't stop until the mule gets across, and several of them had difficulty getting their mule convinced that that line was not going to bite them, and they finally came across. But it was a great event, and they're talking about possibly doing something here in Apache Junction in the very near future. So let's look forward to that being part of our, if you want to shoot, this is the next one. And they dress up in the different outfits for them, so
That's cute.
it's fun.
Your Honor,
Yes,
can I piggyback on that real quick?
sure.
So like the mayor just mentioned, the Borough Run, we actually will be doing that, and we're going to be kicking that off. This will become an annual event that our Parks and Recreation Department's going to start doing, but the first one is going to be at the upcoming Apache Junction Founder Centennial, which is going to be on January the 8th. And fortunately, one of our local businesses, Tortilla Flat, who now has recently also just purchased Phillies, is going to be the sponsor of that. So we're really looking forward to that, and having that, the same nonprofit who does the one in Superior is going to be doing ours. So really looking forward to that.
Okay, Bryant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Bryant Powell, City Manager. I'll just add one little informational item, how neat it was to be with Tempe, and they covered so much for us on the tour. So much of that was done with coordinated effort between the religious community, the volunteer community, the nonprofits, and the city. We will be writing a letter of thank you because it was a great time to be with their mayor and their staff and their city manager. Tonight we have here with us Stephen Republic, I'd like to invite him up quarterly. As you're aware, they come and provide a report on activity related to the Free Dump Week and the landfill. So Stephen, if you can.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Good to see you all again. My name's Stephen Herring. I'm the Municipal Manager for Republic Services. Behind me, if I could have these two gentlemen stand up, I have Kevin Vasquez, who's the new Operations Manager of the Apache Junction Landfill. He's replacing Zach Venable, whom I know many of you have met in the past. And then Jim Gruen is our General Manager. It's my boss. So, as Brian mentioned, periodically we come up. I was supposed to come up a couple months ago, but due to a tire blowout on the highway, I did not make it, but this is the rescheduled event. So happy to be here. First, wanted to just address a little bit of service issues as well as some questions on recycling. So we're very aware that there have been some individual cases of service issues. We're on it. We get reports from the city of Apache Junction periodically, and those are immediately addressed, usually directly by myself. Recycling, wanted to outline the process of what happens. So material is collected on Wednesdays. It's then taken to the Mesa Transfer Facility, which is just north of Queen Creek. It's then long hauled to Tucson, where Republic Services owns and operates a recycling facility. What happens there is all the material is set through various pieces of machinery. It's separated, baled, and then sold to be made into new products. And if there's any questions about what that process looks like, or if there's any teachers who are either behind me or watching on television, we have a full K-12 curriculum on recyclingsimplified.com, and it's also made for at-home learning as well. So video field trips of a landfill, video field trips of recycling facilities, and then of course, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. And additionally, if you have a specific scenario, service question, or anything like that, I invite you to contact me directly. My email address is SHERRING, so that's S, Herring, my last name, at republicservices.com. So now to touch on the numbers. We're up to 1,409 recycling customers. So that's a little over 15% of the city. So every time I've come to speak to you all, that number has continually gone up. Mm-hmm. I believe this is up about 150 or so from the last time we spoke. Bulk pickup. This is always a great topic to talk about. I know this is an exciting feature of the new trash contract. So in May, we had 240 pickups, about 16.9 tons. June was 177 pickups, 19.5 tons. July, 187 pickups, 17.3 tons. And August, 216 pickups, 17.71 tons. Wow. And we will have September and October numbers soon, which we'll get to Bryant and Jenny to distribute to you all. Next is on Free Dump Week. And really just wanted to point out the amount of residents that are coming to these events. In May, we had 603 residents come to Free Dump Week. It was 163.62 tons, which is about $17,000 in value. And in August, we had 432 residents, which would be expected during summer. And that was 107.58 tons, or about $11,000 in value. And then, of course, it's up there on the screen. Next week is Free Dump Week for November. So just a reminder, it is one carload up to 500 tons. We do have a grace period up to 600 if anything thereafter does carry a charge. And then the last piece I wanted to touch on is that there's been a lot of talk about driver shortages and all kinds of stuff like that. Republic Services is hiring, and it's not just for drivers. We have plenty of openings at the landfill. We have work-from-home opportunities from the call center. And then our corporate office is hiring for things that maybe you wouldn't think of a trash company for, like finance jobs, IT, analyst positions. And a lot of these are work from home and will remain work from home for the life of those jobs. So if you're qualified, please look at our website, republicservices.com. If you're interested, please apply. And if you'd like us to take a look, feel free to email me at my address that I said earlier. Okay, with that, that concludes my report. I'll take any questions.
Schroeder's ready to go.
Oh, no. But I will, it's not quite a question, but you orchestrated a meeting between me, you, and Jim, and it was very informal, just to get to know you. And just casual conversation, just in passing, I had mentioned the landscaping at the entrance of the dump. Within a matter of weeks, that was taken care of. And it wasn't one of these, hey, we should get this done. It was just in passing. So they listen. I mean, when we have concerns or problems, even though this wasn't a matter of a concern, it was just, hey, the landscaping should be kept up a little better. And it was done. And I was really impressed with how quick that turned around, considering, I don't know how many landscapers you have at your disposal. I would assume it took a little bit of a chain of command to get something like that put together. But I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Well, thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it, and we'll see you at the Free Dump Week.
Thank you, Mayor, and just wanted to let everyone know we will be staying for the whole meeting. We'll be sticking around if any residents have questions for us.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Wanted to also remind everyone that this Saturday is also we have 2 household hazardous waste events that are free to the public and also free to City of AJ and some of our neighbors around in Pinal County to come on down to Public Works Department on Saturday. We now have 2. We used to have 0. Then we got 1, and now we have 2. We'll now have some time to introduce our brand new CEO at the Chamber, Marianne, let's make sure I got this right, Przybylski. Come on down, and I see Audrey's here, who's a member of the Chamber Board. We welcome Marianne, who comes to us. Well, we'll let them tell a little bit, but she's just jumped right in and is from the Chandler Chamber most recently. So, Audrey.
Mayor Wilson, Council, thank you very much for having us this evening. I'm Audrey Willett, the Little Caesar franchisee over on the trail. And it is my honor and privilege to introduce Marianne Przybylski. And let me tell you, it is not pronounced the way it is spelled, once you see it spelled. After a very intensive search, we narrowed down our candidate selection, and we are absolutely thrilled that we made an offer and that Marianne accepted it. She comes with many, many years of chamber experience, mostly with the Chandler Chamber. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to her because she's much more interesting than I am.
I don't know, you have pizza.
See, we knew AJ was better.
Yeah.
Closer to home. Well, hello again. Thank you, Mayor and Council. And it is my honor to serve as the President and CEO of the Apache Junction Area Chamber. This is my community. This is my home. So it really is great to come back after so many years of being in a bigger community to come back to that home community. It's just been wonderful to meet countless members and community leaders, and I look forward to, I know I've met some of you individually, the others that I haven't met, to get to meet you one-on-one. And just looking forward to meeting with each one of you and working strategically to continue to move Apache Junction forward. I think that's very critical. As Audrey said, I have been in the chamber world for over 20 years in the nonprofit industry, and before that I was in the private sector, so I've been on both sides of the fence, and I understand those small businesses that are trying to grow and looking for those resources and those opportunities to move their organization forward, and that certainly is a focus of what the Chamber does here in the community, and we will continue to do here in the community. And I just wanted to share, the Chamber's mission is to promote, develop, and unite local businesses in and around the Apache Junction area so that we can accomplish economic growth, and that really is a focus for me. I'm very driven with economic development, and I'm looking forward to working with the city strategically to position Apache Junction for new business, job growth, job sustainability, and also increasing our tourism. I think there's lots of opportunity as we continue to grow. And again, I'm just very fortunate to be chosen to lead this outstanding organization and have the privilege to continue the Chamber's 61-year mission and fostering those relationships and continuing to move this community forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Your Honor, before I turn it over to Alf for announcements, I just want to remind everybody on city council that yesterday was a special day and it was the mayor's birthday.
Yes.
Give him a hard time.
Oh, he got a heck of a present, didn't he?
So Al?
Feliz cumpleaños, alcalde.
Put it this
As
way,
we
if
would
I
say,
put all
I'm
the candles on the cake, we would have had a forest fire.
24 years young.
Yes, that's right. Not every day you turn 39. Good evening to you, newly anniversaried mayor and members of the city council. Al Bravo, Public Information Officer for the city of Apache Junction. A couple of quick announcements and then a chance to look back at this weekend and our celebrations here. Kids Idol, a couple of dates still to go for auditions. You can see that on November the 6th and November the 10th. You can contact Councilmember Biggs or Jeff Struble at the numbers there, or you can also email ajkidsidol@gmail.com if you're interested in that. That's coming up pretty quick. As we mentioned, as the councilman mentioned earlier about Founders Day and the centennial celebration in 2022, the meetings continue, but January 8th is coming real fast, so we hope everybody's getting excited. Always like to get in a plug-in for the Citizens Leadership Institute. We've opened up registration for the 2022 class, which will begin on January the 12th and go through April. We already have a few folks signed up, but people who are interested in learning about municipal government, and in particular, the city of Apache Junction municipal government and things that are going on in the city, this is your opportunity to do so. It's a free class. It'll be held here in the council chambers and will also be live streamed on YouTube. And I know a couple of our elected folks did attend over the weekend a wonderfully successful and exciting holiday, the Halloween event in Flatiron Park. It kind of kicks off a little bit of our event season here in the city. And so our illustrious Matthew McNulty took some wonderful shots over the weekend on Saturday with the event. So I have a couple of those up here, but I know Mayor Wilson and others probably want to chime in a little bit on their experience on Saturday night.
Well, it was unique in the aspect on it. We had I'm going to say, a tremendous turnout. And, you know, the trunk or treat where all the kids were going through was enjoyed. One of the biggest things I heard from the kids was that they were all excited about all the candy that they had collected. And we went around with, my wife and I went around with a bag of candy, and we came home with very little when we came back. So the kids were enjoying, and it was basically a fun for all.
Yeah, and to add to that, I kind of got a multifaceted approach from a couple different angles. So I was able to work the Parks and Rec booth and moderate some of the games there, and to just watch the kids come up, very respectful and nice. They would wait in line and give us their tickets and play the game, and was super excited to get candy and all of that. And then, of course, being able to be one of the judges in the costume contest with the police chief and the fire chief, it was really great to be through that whole period to just look to my right and go, I agree with the chief, and let them duke it out over which chief I agreed with. And then a little bit later in the night, I got to be with my family and take my nieces and nephews through the trunk or treat line and all of that. And my littlest nephew, when he found out that he could walk up to people, open a bag, and they drop candy in the bag, well, it was game over from that. So it was a really great night and an incredibly successful event. Lots of people, so wonderful to see.
So a very, very special thank you to our Parks and Rec Department for pulling that together. Again, the community just really came out in droves. We really appreciate that. And those are your announcements for November the 2nd, 2021.
I'm going to throw one other thing, and we got coming up is the Festival of Superstitions in 2 weeks. So we have to remember that as well.
And Veterans Day Parade as well.
Yes, that's true. Okay. Public hearings, we have none. Everyone's grateful on that one. And direction, council to staff. Direction to staff on board and commission members, selection, talent bank, application process. And I'm going to turn it over to whom? Be talking about this.
I could kick this off, Your Honor. Last night we had a great discussion regarding several items related to maybe possibly some changes you want to make to the process related to the boards and commissions. Talked about some residency. We talked about the ability to fill positions on the board if they become vacant. Talked about a question on the application. And there was one more. We talked about the Health and Human Services going from 5 people to 7 on the board. Tonight is the opportunity for you all to give us direction to staff on any of those or others. In addition to that, my recommendation would be, Your Honor, to have one motion to those so that we can be very clear on what our action would be at staff level.
One motion that covers
One
them all?
motion for each one. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
got it.
Just to clarify, yeah, one for
Just-
each one. That, yeah, so if you
sense.
wanted to, for each of those.
Okay, so do I have a motion?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to increase the number of commission members on the Health and Human Services Commission from 5 to 7, beginning with the October 2022 application and appointment process.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call?
Councilmember Nasser?
Yes.
Councilmember Gremmel?
Yes.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Biggs?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Rissy?
Yes.
Mayor Wilson?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously, Your Honor.
Okay, do I have another motion?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I move that we add the following changes to our city code. When boards and commissions fall below the necessary quorum due to a new vacancy, council shall make a new appointment from the previous list of applicants to fill the remaining term of the vacancy.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call?
Councilmember Schroeder?
I'm gonna say no. I'd like to have it open to everybody.
Councilmember Nasser?
Yes.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Gremmel?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Rissy?
Yes.
Councilmember Biggs?
Yes.
Mayor Wilson?
Yes.
6-1, motion passes.
All right, do I have another motion?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I move that we remove a question from the application that was discussed at great length from the applicant's application for boards and commissions, asking if they have current or past disputes.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call?
Councilmember Biggs?
Yes.
Councilmember Evans?
It's no, and I want to say why it's no. I spent time today going over the volunteer applications for Parks and Rec, for our police department, including our paws and claws. They all require fingerprinting, criminal background reports. They have questions on their applications like, have you been convicted of a crime other than a minor traffic violation? Or have you been convicted of a felony? I believe this question, the question that's in question, is pretty vanilla compared to what our other applications have on file, have been working well. And this statement does not disqualify anybody. It's just a yes or no, just the same as if we ask somebody if you've been convicted of a felony, which is on one of the Parks and Rec volunteer sheets. So on that basis, it's a no.
They work with children.
Okay. Vice Mayor Rissy?
I'll clarify my answer as well, being that it was never a council consensus to begin with to be put on the application. Absolutely, yes, to remove it.
Okay. Councilmember Nesser?
Yes.
Councilmember Gremmel?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Well, I don't feel like we really accomplished any sort of compromise yesterday. And I would also like to clarify my answer. So having that question on the application has an implication that the city is never wrong. It's never makes mistakes. It says, hey, past or current, code compliance violations, some things happen, so it's not a very good road to go down. However, I do recognize that people that we have to serve on our boards and commissions should have, should be examined to an extent if they do have anything like that against the city. So I would suggest that, although we're in the middle of the motion, so it wouldn't make any difference. So I don't feel like we've accomplished anything, so I'm going to vote no.
No to remove, or no to keep?
Mayor Wilson?
I'm going to do a little quick explanation on the aspect on it. Number one is that I think the question is, I'm going to say, really leading in a direction that we're, I'm going to say, wanting to stay away from, but I do like the idea of part of it. But according to this motion that's been suggested, I'm going to go voting yes.
Motion passes 5-2, Your Honor.
Okay, do I have any other motions? What about, do I have anything for Parks and Rec? Nope.
For residency.
Okay.
Okay, that helps. Yep. Thank you, Your Honor. That we know what to do. We got your marching orders. Yeah.
I don't see any others, so
Okay.
we'll move on. Selection of meeting dates and times and locations for our next meeting.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I move that an executive session at 6 p.m. for Monday, November 15th, and Tuesday, November 16th, 2021, be held at the City Council Conference Room and City Council Chambers, 300 East Superstition Boulevard, Apache Junction, Arizona, respectively, and other meetings scheduled if necessary.
She got it.
Oh, she got it. Okay. Well, moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Biggs?
Yes.
Councilmember Gremmel?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Rizzi?
Yes.
Councilmember Nesser?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Mayor Wilson?
Yes.
Motion passes, Your Honor.
Okay, call to the public. I would like to remind everyone that the call to the public is a courtesy and not required by law. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
It is a time for the public to express requests, communications, comments, and suggestions. Requests to speak forms must have been filled out and handed to the city clerk prior to the end of the city manager's report. All issues shall be presented in a professional manner without personal attacks. Under the open meeting law, the council cannot engage in discussion on issues presented, but may respond to criticism, may direct staff to follow up with the speaker directly, and/or place the matter in a future agenda for council discussion. There's a 3-minute time limit for each speaker, and I have a few of them. I'll call the first one, Douglas. Okay. What's your last name? Okay, yes.
That's what he said.
Good evening. I'm here to talk about the trash.
Name and
We're
address.
Your address first.
300 East 13th Avenue,
Go ahead.
and we're very disappointed. We're very disappointed in our trash service. It's a hit or miss on whether they're going to pick it up or not. Maybe you could inspire them to be more responsible. I've called them so many times on the phone. They're a responsible company, and they're not living up to their responsibility. Maybe you could inspire them to live up to the responsibility, maybe penalize them. I don't want to get up here and complain. I'm looking for solutions. Maybe that's one. Maybe letting another trash company come in because they're not doing their job. So, and I don't think it should, when they miss us, it shouldn't be our responsibility to have to call in to them to tell them they missed us. They should be responsible again to do the right thing and pick up the trash when they miss us. And one off-the-wall thing, what's your policy on pigeons? Somebody on Royal Palm is feeding pigeons, and there's hundreds of them flying around. Anything else? Sorry, thank you.
You can always come back.
Jim Palmer?
Mr. Mayor, City Council, 240 East 13th Avenue, Apache Junction. Tuesday, again, we missed our trash pickup. I've sent many of you emails before. Poor Jennifer's getting bombed with this. And I can tell you right now that I've heard we can't have drivers, the truck breaks down, it's COVID, come on. This is not a company that has the resources to fulfill its contract. Last Tuesday, they missed our garbage pickup. Wednesday, they came by, picked up the garbage, and then picked up my recycle and dumped it in the same truck. Okay? And so I got to tell you something. When we talked to the driver said, well, this truck has already been contaminated. That's why we're going to put both of them in the same. He got very upset, and then he missed the next two neighbors right down the street, right across the street. And I'm thinking, that's very poor performance. And again, yes, COVID, yes, we can't find drivers. If you don't have the resources, what are you doing in the business? That's all I can tell you. I was in business for 39 years, and I had to have response. This post office gets thousands of letters every day. 6 days a week, they drop my mail off in my mailbox, and I can't get a truck to come down and pick up a blue can. Sorry, that's the way it is. And again, I've sent email after email many, many times. And so we can make excuses and where we can do nothing again. Thank you.
Thank you. Pam Long? Lang, isn't it? I'm sorry.
Lang.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thank you, Mayor, council members. I here too am hear about Republic Services. I haven't had a trash issue. My trash has been getting picked up.
Your address, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, 1851 South Star Road in Apache Junction. My trash is scheduled to be picked up twice a week. I hardly have any trash. A lot of times my bin's only out once a week. But my recycling, I fill it constantly. I could actually use recycling twice a week. But this past whole month of October, they missed my recycling pickups. I get on the website, I fill out the form saying you missed a pickup, I get no response, nothing. I call in, they're like, oh, I'm sorry, we'll escalate that. They'll be here no later. They'll either be here today or they'll be here tomorrow, no later than tomorrow. Today and tomorrow go by, it's still sitting there. I filled up my neighbor's bin. I had my bin filled up. I had 2 bags sitting in my house. I can't put it out because we have creatures. I don't want javelina in my yard, so I don't want to put trash out or, well, recycling. They can still smell all that stuff. And eventually I got on the social media, complained on there. Multiple neighbors have said either their trash wasn't picked up or the recycling wasn't picked up or the recycling was picked up by the trash truck. And I understand now he's saying that they just acquired more recycling, people signed up for more recycling. So my question is, how they can't even handle what they have now, how are they going to handle even more people signed up for recycling? And I understand they're in quite a quandrum right now with a shortage of drivers, but at least let us know what you're doing. If you have to cut back to recycling twice a month, fine, just let me know, but cut my bill down. You know, don't keep charging me for services that we're not receiving. And like them, you have to keep calling, you have to get on social media, you have to get a group of people. And it's like, you know, right now I'm off work because of back issues, but otherwise I would be at work constantly and not have time for all of that. But thank you for listening.
Thank you. Donna Carr?
Hi, I'm Donna Carr, Apache Junction resident. Actually, yeah, Republic Services, my trash has been missed before too, so has my son's. And when you call, It's not like they're gonna come,
Your
even though it's during work hours, they don't send somebody back out.
Donna,
But-
your address? For the record, your address?
Oh, I usually just say I'm a Apache
Oh,
Junction
okay.
resident. The main thing that I wanted to bring up tonight is the fact that, I don't know if anybody's looked at the amount, but as of October 24th, 2021, is it 2021? Yeah, we have over 101 sexual offenders in Apache Junction. And I guess I don't understand is, maybe I shouldn't be using Google Doctor, but I Googled to find out is, how far away from a school are you supposed to be? It says 1,000 feet away from a school, 1,000 feet away from any school functions, and 1,000 feet away from a school bus. So the question I have is, where my son lives, 3 sexual predators have moved into that area. One next door, one kitty corner across the street, and one house on the flip side. And why are they allowed to move all so close together? We know as well from history is that sexual predators become friends with sexual predators. And I guess this is a little confusing to me. And my son's girlfriend has 2 daughters that have to get off the bus right there. So I'm a little bit worried. And I'm not sure what can be done about it. But I just thought I'd bring it up. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Quentin Heinzer? Heiner.
Mayor and council members, I'm Quentin Heiner, live at 2002 South Apache Drive in Apache Junction. I was here 2 or 3 months ago about getting some kind of a reasonable way to set back some of the setbacks so that a person that doesn't have a carport out in front could be able to put a carport. I don't know if you remember, it's been a couple, 3 months ago, but we're in an older neighborhood, smaller homes, and everybody has at least two vehicles. Some of them have 4 or 5 or 6 all parked out in the front. But if you could let me know what's going on, if there is anything happening, if staff is doing anything, I would appreciate it. I'm not here about Republic, but I've got pretty good service where I'm at. I don't know, maybe it's because we're in old homes or whatever, but I do appreciate it, and thank you very much.
Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, the council, yes.
Your Honor, I wanted to ask Bryant a question. I think Bryant could answer. I thought it was my understanding that when people have an issue with Republic Services with the trash, that they call the city. Don't we have somebody within the city that handles?
I'm sorry,
Your Honor,
I have to interrupt. We can't have back and forth at this time. It's in violation of the open meeting law.
Okay, I was asking.
But if you have questions if you want Mr. Powell to meet with the individuals, or you have someone here tonight from Republic, it's a perfect night for them to show up, so.
Okay, it was my question for my own reference, because I get asked that a lot, who people call.
I
So I'm not
understand,
allowed
but-
to ask. Okay, if we could meet with the folks that have an issue and help them to understand who to contact.
We're tracking the complaints.
Thank you.
Yes.
Brian, I do remember the carport issue. Has anybody been on that? As far as we
Well,
know?
we have not placed it in our update to the city code, and we'd have to change the city code to get setbacks changed there.
So that's something that we need to.
So I think that's what tonight is, to direct us to, yeah. So we can offer that Larry and Rudy can meet with him and go over for rezoning. That's one option. I think Quentin, is it Quentin?
Yes.
Yes, I remember Quentin. I don't know, I think he's met with Rudy and Larry. We can do it again, see if there are any other alternatives before we come back with a potential code change. So would you like me to start there?
Yep.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Yeah, Your Honor, if I could get the chief and Brian possibly to follow up with Ms. Carr regarding the process. I've actually gotten several questions in the last couple of weeks about that
the sex offender
Thank you,
notifications and the,
thank you.
and the
That's
law.
Yeah,
what I was
you're on.
looking for. The,
Yeah, we
in,
will.
in the law and how that process works, it can be very confusing, so.
Yeah, Your Honor. I just wanted to make a comment on what Donna Carr asked about, just one statement. I was a volunteer with the police department for the last 18 years. 11 of them, I was the person who put together and worked the sex offender registration cases. And in general, the state of Arizona, the county of Pinal, the AJ Police Department does not control where people live. People are free to live wherever they want to live, just like you and me. And so when if they are a registered sex offender, they still are free to live where they wish to live. So that's kind of, I hope, answers that question that was asked.
Okay, no one else? I'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you.